There are over 100 different Mario Kart tracks throughout history, spanning from Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo in 1992 all the way to present time with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch. And don't forget every Mario Kart game in between. We're going to be showcasing the top 10 Mario Kart tracks of all time in part 10 of our Mario Kart retrospective. We've partnered up with Happy Kids for this series, so download the app and watch for free. Welcome back, everyone. It's Abdallah here with the final episode of our Mario Kart retrospective. We're going to be going over all of the top 10 best levels in Mario Kart history. Now, if you haven't seen episodes 1 through 9, get yourself acquainted with them because those episodes will show you one lap in each of the tracks in all of the respective previous games. Now, this isn't even all of them. These are what I had over here on my counter. But let me tell you, there are a lot of tracks to choose from, so narrowing down the top 10 is going to be such a very hard task. Now, when doing this, what I did was I took into account a lot of different factors with these. How unique is the level? What is the overall design of the level? Is there a nostalgia factor? How many shortcuts are there? And just overall, how fun are the levels to play? Now, of course, it's going to be a subjective list, and your favorite track may not make it in here. So I can't wait to hear from you guys on which your favorite track is. Let's hear it and tell me the reasonings why you feel so. Anyway, I know that a lot of you guys will agree with some of these, and I cannot wait to hear all the feedback. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to detail the top 10 and give you all of my reasons why I feel that they're absolutely the best, and I just want to play them over and over again. Let's jump on into it, shall we? We'll be starting in chronological order for this list, and Wario Stadium just has to be a top 10 Mario Kart course. The non-shortcut route is filled to the brim with all sorts of bumps and jumps that make the course one of the longest in Mario Kart 64. I still remember driving up the giant ramp right before the finish line and placing all sorts of bananas and traps on it in hopes of making my opponent spin out and not have enough acceleration to make the gap jump. I also used to love holding onto a lightning item and timing the shock to force other players down into the gap as well. If you're into shortcuts, this level has the most shortcuts in all of Mario Kart 64. At the very beginning, you'll be able to use the humps to hop the small fence to the left and cut off a great portion of track so quickly. You can be pretty creative with good timing and top speed in order to jump a lot of other ramps in the level too. In fact, you can hop over the first left jump, then quickly turn again to the left and hop over the wall in order to finish a lap in less than 15 seconds. The fact that there weren't any boundaries in this level definitely makes it one of the best in the series, and unfortunately, it hasn't been replicated in future installments of Mario Kart. Speaking of the best in the series, Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road will go down in history as one of the most iconic due to the Rainbow Road shortcut at the very beginning, where you jump to the left and land on the other side to cut off over half the entire track. Attempting this shortcut was and still is a rite of passage with many Mario Kart fans. I still have fond memories of risking everything just to make this shortcut and win the Grand Prix, or just to beat all my friends who were playing with me at the time. Outside of one of the most iconic shortcuts, the winding paths are really fun to practice your power slides around while dodging the chain chomps. We can't forget the neon lights showcasing all the characters as well. A shorter and much abridged version of this course was made in Mario Kart 8, but it still doesn't do it full justice as there's no ultra jump shortcut to do it. Imagine an entire Mario Kart track on one of Bowser's airships. Oh yeah. Airship Fortress on Mario Kart DS does just that. You start out racing your way to the airship while it shoots bullet bills directly at you. Once you make it aboard the airship, Rocky Wrenches, a familiar enemy from Mario Bros. 3, pop up and attempt to stop you from infiltrating. Upon racing deeper into the airship, you can break open crates for potential mushrooms or bananas right before some fires attempt to roast you. The only way to get off the airship is to get blasted from a cannon, all for you to repeat the level all over again. This track was so great that it was remade in Mario Kart 7 and received a huge glow up. You know what time it is. It's time to go to the mall, the Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii. If you know this level, you also know the iconic music that goes along with it. This is an entire track that takes place inside and outside of a shopping mall. I absolutely love driving up the escalators or fountains and tricking off of them for a boost. You can also see a bunch of fun little shops and advertisements if you look closely enough. After jumping out of the mall, you'll have to race through the parking lot and watch out for the reckless drivers before the finish line. One of the most iconic details about this course isn't just the Piantas from Mario Sunshine, but the fact that it uses your created Miis from Nintendo Wii to populate the random people you can see in the mall. This level is so popular that it was remade in both Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8. Our next level is by far one of the best snow levels in Mario Kart history. It's DK Summit. This level takes the idea of snowboarding or skiing down a huge snowy mountain and pushes it to the extreme. The level starts out by blasting you up to the top of the mountain instead of taking the ski lifts. And since Mario Kart Wii introduced the concept of tricking off of ramps, it felt so good to ride up the side of a wall and do some epic flips only to land them perfectly and boost ahead of the competition. There are a ton of moguls and boosts that you can trick off of in order to gain some speed, and there's a huge double shortcut that you could potentially take prior to the half pipe. Now, speaking of half pipes, there are a few cute snowboarding shy guys there towards the end of the course for a cherry on top of such an epic track. Also, you'll find a glow up of this track in the brand new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack. All of the rainbow roads are iconic in their own ways, and I didn't want to include too many of them on the list, but I feel that Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road stands out higher than the rest of them. From the detailed space theme to the fact that it's not a traditional looped course, Rainbow Road 3DS just hits differently. There's a gliding section where you can get some serious airtime and cut off a lot of track if you hug the right side of the Saturn planet, and if you glide carefully towards the left of the next section. Let's not forget the fact that you'll eventually fall on a literal moon with reduced gravity like you're actually in outer space. The chain chomps are even feeling the moon gravity too. After taking a turn towards the right, you find yourself driving in a corkscrew with all sorts of boost panels, and you're given an option of aerial racing towards the last leg of the track or grounded racing. Here you are at the final stretch of the course and you have a mushroom in your inventory. You go for the final clutch shortcut and launch yourself off the left edge of the track to land and win the race. How epic was that? Man. Whew, with a handful of fun shortcuts, very unique physics, and awesome space decor, I can see why this level was remade on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass. Now, you know me, I'm a fan of unique levels, and Mount Wario from Mario Kart 8 takes the cake. Just like on DK Summit, you'll be driving down a snowy mountain, but it's a one-way course with no loops. You literally start the track by driving off a plane and landing on the snowiest part on top of Mount Wario. After a bunch of winding turns, you find yourself into a watery cave that jets you through to the hydroelectric dam. After boosting your way through the streams of water, you have to race through a forest and try not to drive directly into the trees that will completely halt your momentum. I like to call that getting treated, get it? Once out of the forest, it feels like you're at the Olympic Games with a unique slalom and mogul course that you have to navigate your way through. There's a final ski jumping ramp that you'll accelerate quickly through in order to launch yourself as far as you can right before the finish line. I really enjoyed how Mount Wario captures the essence of skiing down a mountain and landing into an actual arena with an audience there to cheer on your victory. F-Zero is one of my favorite futuristic racing games, and I'm so glad that Mute City was included into Mario Kart 8. It captures the pure essence of F-Zero's high-speed racing and makes it one of the most unique courses in all of Mario Kart history. So much so that Captain Falcon himself would be proud. This level is unique in a way that there are no coins on the map to pick up, so you'll have to drive over pit areas in order to collect 10 coins for your max speed. There are a small handful of shortcuts that you can do to cut a few corners, especially the one at the end where you can fly straight to the finish line. And let's not forget the iconic Mute City theme song with the saxophone and guitar solos in it. Your hair will be standing on end with this track's sense of acceleration. Seamlessly blending the Mario universe into the Zelda universe was something that hasn't been done until Mario Kart 8's DLC pack, which included Hyrule Circuit. Green rupees replace coins, Deku Babas replace piranha plants, and Keese replace swoopers. This level has a ton of Zelda references within it. You start off driving through Hyrule Field only to land into Hyrule Castle, and if you hit all of the anti-gravity spinners, you can unlock a ramp that leads you to boost over the Master Sword endowed with a Triforce pedestal. After jumping out of the castle, you'll realize just how dangerous it is to go alone due to the chomping Deku Babas and Keese right before the finish line. Honestly, one of the best collaboration levels in the franchise. And speaking of collaboration levels, if you're a fan of Animal Crossing, you absolutely have to put the Animal Crossing track from Mario Kart 8's DLC pack on the top 10 list. This level is packed to the brim with all sorts of references to the Animal Crossing franchise, especially New Leaf. You'll find the town tree, you'll see the town hall, the Able Sisters shop, and a ton of familiar villagers cheering you on from the sidelines. If you're playing in Versus or GP mode, you'll be able to pick up familiar fruits from the trees at the beginning for a small boost, and you'll be able to glide through item boxes that are tied to red balloons, just like in Animal Crossing. Right before the end of the level, you can even find my personal favorite Animal Crossing character, Mr. Rossetti, popping out of the ground to yell at you for turning off your game without saving. Nah, just kidding, drive around him, or take the shortcut to the right of the money rock in order to save a few seconds. What makes this level unique is the fact that you can play it in all 4 different seasons. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, each variant has its own unique details as well as overall designs, such as the fact that in winter, Mr. Rossetti is replaced with Snowboys. And that was the top 10 Mario Kart tracks, but since you guys are such an awesome audience, I wanted to squeeze in an honorable mention or bonus level that really resonated with me, and that's Yoshi's Island from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass. This level takes the entirety of the Super Nintendo game, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, and turns it into a nostalgic trip of a track. You'll immediately recognize familiar tunes and see familiar characters such as Stilt Guys, the Huffin' Puffins at the very beginning, right before dodging the ceiling piranha plant. Even more characters such as Pedal Guys, Goonies, a giant Nep-E-Nut, and even Poochie make an appearance. The most unique aspect of this level is the floating winged cloud that you can glide into in order to make a stretch of road appear out of nowhere in order for you to cut off a majority of the end of the lap. This level is such a love letter to those who grew up in the Super Nintendo era, or for those who enjoyed Yoshi's Island as a whole. I wouldn't dare forget to add it to the list of best tracks in Mario Kart history. And there you have it, all of the top 10 tracks in Mario Kart history. Of course, at the time of recording this, there are going to be a couple outstanding tracks from the Booster Course Pass on Mario Kart 8, so maybe some of those will make it into the list if we ever do another one. And, of course, I don't know if it's going to stand the test of time. There might be a brand new Mario Kart game coming out, or maybe Mario Kart Tour might take off and make even better levels. So that's just all the more reason to keep on playing Mario Kart. Anyway, you guys have been an amazing crowd. Thank you so much for watching this entire 10-part series. If you guys have not seen every single one of these episodes, please do so. It only takes a quick second to go check them out. Please. We worked really hard on playing through all of these levels for you and teaching you everything I know about Mario Kart, so hopefully you guys are a lot more informed. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for even more Mario Kart in the near future. You guys are the best, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Only on Happy Kids Free Fun Learn.